make sure his microphone's up, and we're going to talk about the class. It's your namesake. What brings that about? How do you turn into the guy, the king of the Super Hooligan? No, hang on. Give me just a second. I'll ask you again. How did you get to be the namesake of the Roland Sands Super Hooligans?
It's been a very long process, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we started racing flat track, and we've gone from racing flat track, and now we're road racing. So
yeah.
It's been quite the journey.
And going from the smaller tracks to the bigger tracks now too. I mean, open it up. What used to be like the max top end? Can you just give me a guess on what you think on some of those smaller flat track?
We ran a lot of races predominantly in first gear.
Yeah, right. No shifting, if meaning one, right?
Yeah, most of the short tracks were done in first gear. So it's a completely different animal out here today racing Road Atlanta, and coming out of Daytona especially. You know, we were seeing as much top end as you can get out of the bike. So.
Yeah, I mean, there had to be a high pucker factor for a lot of these guys, especially if they were kind of bred into that the new or the old Super Hooligans where it was slower speeds. Row 1, Row 2, take a look at it. Andy DeBrino, your top qualifier on the KTM. You're seeing several different power plants. You talked about how we'll see KTMs, Indians, BMWs in the mix, as well as Ducati.
It's a pretty wide field, you know, considering what bikes are actually out here running. There's a lot of guys who probably rode these bikes to the racetrack today. And that's...
Shut your mouth. There's no way. Did they really? Roger's going, yeah, they did.
Some of them look like they came straight from the street. Could easily.
What I meant was there's a lot of people who rode these bikes to the racetrack to watch these guys ride today.
Now that's right.
Yeah.
That's more like it. A lot of fans. Before we finish our thoughts on there, let's go down to Jason Wygant. It's his first time seeing him in racing form, these Super Hooligans.
The Super Hooligans class is everyone's learning these motorcycles that were not necessarily designed for this type of riding, and there are some side effects that actually work to their advantage. I talked to our fast qualifier yesterday, Andy DeBrino, on the KTM. They have to add 50 pounds of weight to the KTMs to get them to the weight minimum. That's to try to balance the performance of the motorcycles. And he said with the uphills on this track, he's actually faster with the weight because it helps control the wheelie on a bike that's extremely short and extremely nimble. They call this type of KTM bike, these naked bikes, they call them the Scalpel. He said with the weight on it, they're going to call it the butter knife now. It's tamed it down just a little bit. He's actually happy with the extra weight.
All right, making sure. Looks like one rider, and you're looking up. That's not one of your guys, is it? Yeah, I would say when they're pushing to the line there.
Why is Tyler O'Hare and Jeremy McWilliams are at the back of the grid?
What, did they miss? No? Roger?
I don't know. I don't know if they missed a warm-up lap or.
I mean, that's the only thing I can.
Behind the pace car, I'm not sure.
That's the only thing I can think. They missed the siding lap that they have to start for the back, but that was the siding lap. Did they pull straight from the line to the back? That's the only thing I can guess. So your guess is as good as mine. Maybe we'll hear from race officials here in just a moment. We'll be in contact, Roland, and give you that update. Andy DeBrino still on pole. You see the 62 KTM there. He's going to set the pace, or try to, into this first turn. The lights are out. Corey West with a great jump in second. Wasn't it Tyler we've already seen have to work his way from worst to first kind of this year already?
I think he's in 4th place already. Tyler got a hell of a start.
In Daytona, he came from the back of the grid in baggers, or was it in this as well?
He came from the back of the grid in the bagger race and put the thing
on top. Yeah, he
won the race.
He won for the last. That's what I'm saying. We saw him go worst to first already. Maybe that's just his style. I don't know. Don't do it tomorrow, though, right?
He likes to make it interesting for us.
Well, he's certainly making it interesting today. He's already up into 3rd place. I mean, what a start he got from, what was that, the 6th row into 3rd place?
Well, back
around the outside into turn 1.
If there's 18 riders, he was in 18th place, it seemed like. And there you go. There is the number 2 of Tyler O'Hare on that Roland Sands Designs Indian FTR 1200. And so again, from the back to the front, if you're going to do it, might as well get it out of the way early. It's not like you're dropping back. He's moving forward. He's just got to get a grab on those front 2, Roger.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's kind of lost the draft now, you know, which is going to come into play. I think Hughes, the biggest thing for him right now is he want to see these two go back and forth,
which they're
slow
doing
each other up.
They're doing it right now. Already a change back and forth. Corey West, Andy DeBrino going back and forth. DeBrino on the 62, Corey West on the Indian number 13. Yeah, that is in his favor right now, because if they keep switching those positions, it'll slow it down, and then we'll have Tyler O'Hara back in the mix again. Still don't know what happened with Jeremy McWilliams and where he comes across the stripe after this first lap, but not what you wanted to see out of the 99.
Well, I know Corey West had an opportunity to potentially lead Andy DeBrino around in qualifying, and Andy refused to pass him. You know how that feels, Roger?
Yeah, he's been there.
You know what that looks like?
He didn't want to show his hand, huh?
He didn't want to show his hand. Corey's ready to show him what was going on in qualifying, but you know, Andy's as crafty as they can be. We saw that at Daytona with him pulling the win from, you know, quite a ways back in second place. So
he also looked like that Daytona was going to lose it when he looked back. You know, he looked back coming out of the chicane, let Corey go by and got back in his draft. So these two, they got some history.
I did not see Tyler in that picture. He got ghosted. He's actually getting sucked in by Jeremy McWilliams, I believe, who come across in fourth. But these two, actually, instead of them battling and slowing each other down, I think they're pushing each other right now.
I think Tyler might have had a mistake, because he doesn't even look like he's in the picture.
Yeah, he's not. He's back there with McWilliams. So again, at that point too, and as a team owner and stuff, you say, hey, save yourself. Try to at least get on the box, finish in third. We're going to come back tomorrow and try and go for a win. What would you even tell your rider if you could talk to him on the track?
Well, I mean, of course, as it sits right now, you know, when you got a gap like this, it's pretty difficult to make up in 5 laps. And as a team owner, you want to see the bike come back in one piece.
Right.
You know, if you don't have the potential to win the race, hey, make sure you're finishing it up. You can see Corey. Look like Corey's dragging the exhaust pipe a little bit right there.
You can hear it dragging as he went into the last corner.
Yeah, that's got to be unsettling.
Yeah, we've already seen bikes today kind of low side and catch portions of their bikes on the asphalt or the rumble strips. A little curbing here. These guys about as close as you can be heading over that crest. Again, the KTM should be a little bit, I would think, be a little bit more nimble, but with, again, all that added weight, but you can put that weight where you want it.
You can see Corey's using about every inch of the racetrack he can possibly use. He's kicking up a little bit of dust. He doesn't want to lose to Andy today, I'll tell you that. I think we're gonna see him trying to grab onto the back and Andy's draft and for sure put a wheel on him.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to turn 10 and even turn 12 here at the end with these two.
Kind of a replay of what we saw at Daytona in the Super Hooligans race number 1. It was DeBrino, West, and O'Hara 1, 2, and 3 in race number 1. That's the way they're holding right now. Actually not. McWilliams up into third. So O'Hara, according to our time and his scoring, has jumped now into or moved to 4th spot. McWilliams has gotten by him. Side by side. If anybody's going to catch up back there, they need to keep doing more of this. But again, 62's wanting to stay out front.
I think Corey's playing with him. He doesn't want to show his hand to the last lap in that draft pass. I think he can make it by. I think he's waiting till the last lap. He's going to sit there.
You think he's trying to push him into a mistake right now and just trying to say, hey, I'm here?
I think he's just waiting till the last lap to make the draft for the win.
Okay.
You know, I know he wants to return the favor after Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without a doubt, he wants to return the favor after Daytona. He might as well just follow Andy around if he's got the pace to do it and take advantage of that down that back straightaway and throw a little pass on him where he can't get back under him.
Because when you lead the race the whole time and you don't ever see the guy draft past you, you start to think, well, maybe he can't draft by me.
He don't have it.
Yeah.
He got it. You think he's got it,
I think he's got it. If he could stay this close through the first part of the track.
In this tight stuff, he's really close. I mean, it's not like you're going to squeeze inside anybody there, but I mean, he's knocking on the door the entire time. I'm talking about Corey West, who had the fastest lap that last time around. He's still only about 1/10 of a second behind, if that, right now. It's a short race, only 3 laps to go.
I mean, I think if we're expecting the KTM to outdo the Indian, we are going to expect it in the tight portions of the track, but Corey's really proven that the Indian's working really well. The FTR is doing its job in the tight stuff.
I was saying that the agility of that KTM, it should show in the tighter stuff, and he was flicking that Indian around, and there's the power of the Indian.
Well, I was wrong. I thought he was going to wait till the last lap to show his cars, but maybe he thinks he has the pace to get away.
Yeah, you only do that if you think you can check out right, or is he just testing the waters and see if Andy DeBrino has anything more? I think these guys might be actually picking up the pace a little bit, too.
Tyler came back by Jeremy.
Yeah, this is a good back and forth race. And again, as a team owner, you you know the first and second, unless something happens to those top 2 guys, now you're just looking for that race for third. Come across, give me that podium position, do everything you can to hold on to third place.
You know, both of those guys coming from the back of the grid, they got a similar pace. Tyler just did a 34.1. He's got a similar pace to the guys running in front. It's a bit of a heartbreaker, you know, when you got pushed to the back of the grid and thinking, hey, if you just got a couple laps out in front and you're able to hang with those guys, it made all the difference in the world.
Tyler O'Hara actually had the fastest lap of the race. He had the fastest Sector 2 overall. Currently sits in third. You see that back and forth race between Tyler O'Hara and Jeremy McWilliams, 2 Indian riders.
Look at Corey. He's pulled a couple bike links off through the first part of the track where we thought the KTM would be stronger.
You can see Tyler's getting a little bit of movement on that front tire. You know, these Indians, I know that we've been working on the suspension night and day trying to get these things to work as well as they are here. And the times are pretty impressive considering, you know, I mean, it's crazy to say, hey, they're running times that are close to the baggers, and that's something that's pretty impressive. Because those bagger guys have so much development in these bikes. And a lot of the Hooligan bikes, you know, these bikes don't have a tremendous amount of development. They started building these bikes last year, so.
Side by side, Corey West, Andy DeBrino. DeBrino on the inside is going to take over position. West pushing hard, goes out, maybe dives underneath, goes over that rise. Can he get underneath? Show him a wheel, yes sir. Maybe get wide, get back more into that racing line, drive out, and can come across that stripe, lead another lap like nothing ever happened, right?
The way these two are going to battle, Tyler O'Hara might be in the right spot.
Nah, you see that white flag?
Each other out.
he ain't got the time.
No, they take each
Oh,
other
you're right.
out.
Yep.
It could happen.
Hey, we saw the bagger race today. No one to count out of the bag for those of you that gripe about us talking about stuff out of sequence as it happened during the day. But again, Corey West, Andy DeBrino, West on the 13, DeBrino on the 62. Indian versus KTM. And right now, I can't say who's the favorite, although we do see a little bit of separation for the first time.
Corey's got a little bit of a gap for the first time. We'll see if Andy can make it up through the S, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
See the gap back there between third and fourth, and those both are your riders again. So you're going to
see Corey's first sector was the fastest one of the whole race.
Yeah, he pushed hard there, trying to get away. And it's kind of like what you said. You don't pass unless you think you got it. I think that last pass meant to be his last one.
Andy's closed up though between 6 and 7.
He looks back. He says, okay, I got you right now. Or was that the dang it, he's still there?
You know, maybe Corey just let him by so we could see if Andy could draft back by him, you know, and he figured he had to pull a little bit of gap. And if he could do that in the first sector, which he's showing that he's fastest, I mean,
not going to draft.
You got to do it. You're not going to happen.
He's not going to do it right here. He's not going to do it.
FTR's doing the work.
Now let's see, again, there's still 2 very big turns. He's sucked in, he's about as close as you can want to be. You're going to have that downhill right-hand turn. Can he do the stuff-o-matic? Can he go out to in? What do you do, Roger?
Well, I mean, you just try to make the pass if you're close enough, but he's too far back.
It ain't going to happen.
Closer.
Guarding lined a little bit by Corey West. Going out to in is Andy DeBrino.
Black stripe.
All the way to the line, but it's going to be a drag race to the end, and taking the victory is Corey West. He gets his redemption from Daytona, and look at this to the line too. Taking a look over is Tyler O'Hara, his teammate Jeremy McWilliams. And again, don't know what happened on the start, but kudos and congratulations to the Indian pilot number 13, Corey West out of Arkansas, Saddleman's, Lloyd's Garage, Indian FTR 1200, and he is stoked.
Did the work on that last lap at 33.5, fastest lap of the race. I mean, that's definitely impressive for these guys. Corey is going to be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Patricia, his wife, didn't make the race today. She had a big crash this morning.
How is she doing? We saw her. We didn't hear an update. Okay,
she's completely fine. So this will be a nice prize for the family.
Yeah, and we saw that was coming into that last turn earlier in qualifying and practice. So glad to hear that she is doing good. A new winner in MotoAmerica, Corey West in the Super Hooligans race. And you can just see just how happy. You don't need to see the eyes to know just how happy he is.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head down to the podium.
Why?
I'm just gonna go congratulate my rider on a podium finish.
Do it. Hey,
you know, you got to take it when you can get it. It's not often that you potentially get on the podium. We've got 2 today, so I'm psyched. I'm gonna go down there and enjoy my guy.
I got you, Roland. All right, kill the mic, Roger. It's all solo us, and yeah, you don't blame him. 3rd and 4th place for Tyler O'Hara taking the 3rd today. 4th place, Jeremy McWilliams. Nate Kern rounding out the top 5. Strong run though. That was fun. That was
a good race. we kind of expected those two to go at it, and I think tomorrow, if Tyler O'Hara and Jeremy McWilliams can start at the front where they should have started.
We need to find out what happened. I mean, we've seen in other classes before where having started. I remember Rocco Landers that one year at Virginia didn't make it. You know, he was still putting on his leathers, missed the starting grid, and they made him start from last, and he wound up winning that race. Wouldn't be the first time that somebody missed a siding lap and had to get put to the back. We're just guessing that's what happened. Never heard official word from race control. There are your finishing results. And the Indian takes the top spot. Corey West took him over 9 minutes to win that race by a differential of 0.11, a tenth of a second between himself and Andy DeBrino. Tyler O'Hara going from the back of the pack up to third, some 6 seconds behind. So the Arkansas boys able to take the win. We work our way through the rest of the field. Curry Ford in 17th. Take a look back at what happened. Again, the big question was what happened to the guys that were in the back that shouldn't have been, that should have started up front. Tyler O'Hara and Jeremy McWilliams, but Corey West, Andy DeBrino set sail early on in front and got that gap they needed.
Yeah, and also at the beginning of the race, Andy DeBrino looked like he had the pace, led the first 3 or 4 laps. We thought Corey West was just sitting there, but you could see, look how hard these guys are pushing up these things. And Andy here at the back straightaway. This is where we thought that Corey would maybe wait till the last lap, but obviously he felt like he had the pace and finally made the pass.
And we saw this race go down pretty much, very much the same way, but a different outcome this time compared to Daytona.
No, Corey this time led, and then he pulled that gap in that first sector where he didn't allow him to get in his draft that last lap to make the pass.
Tyler O'Hara, the Roland Sands Designs Indian, worked his way up into third spot, held on to that even though he had a race-long battle with Jeremy McWilliams, taking a final spot on the podium. But redemption for Corey West, a lucky number 13 for the Indian. Let's go downstairs. Jason Wygans with a very happy Corey West. He finally got that redemption he was looking for after that bad taste in his mouth from Daytona.
Ah, yes, revenge, well served. Getting the victory this time on the lucky number 13, and Corey West showing what these Hooligan bikes are capable of. You guys took it right down to the last lap. It had to be fun to be in that battle.
Oh, that was a hell of a ride. Big thanks to the Saddlemen, India Charlotte, Mission Food.